If you're a business owner and doing any kind of email marketing automation, you might want to stick around and watch this video. Hi, my name is Anil Agrawal from marketingautomationfocus.com, and today I'll be reviewing briefly a new automation tool for email marketing. It's called Encharge, and I say take charge of your marketing using Encharge. So let's look at this. It's Encharge.io. You see here their homepage says behavior emails beat marketing automation. So it's based on behaviors of your subscribers or your visitors on your website or your landing pages. And it's based also on segmentation, which is very powerful. So just quickly showing their homepage of Encharge. It's got a beautiful visual workflow to create your automations, and you also have a bunch of integrations, Zapier, Stripe, Facebook Ads, HubSpot, and many more. They got customer support, very nice, very quick responses. And so let me show you, I just created my account, so there's not a whole lot inside of my account as yet, but when you log in, you see a dashboard here. And when you actually create your account and you put down your website, it's a nice little thing that I noticed that on the top left here, right next to the dashboard word, it pulls your website logo from your website. So that's kind of neat. So I happen to notice that. And so the first view is dashboard, which gives you a summary of your subscribers or your what they call people or person. And underneath that, you'll see all the emails that got delivered, bounced ones, opens and clicks and replies, unsubscribed, and spam reports, if any, if someone just, if you're spamming or they think that you are spamming or they're just mad at you, I guess. Some people report, hey, this was a spam email. So that will show up here. And activity stream, I haven't used it, but I'm guessing it's actually all the events or your people who are in your account, whatever actions they're taking or events that happen because of your automation that's running. It will show up here. That would be interesting to see, but I don't have any data as you can see. One of the things, let's go take a quick look here for settings. It has my apps. I believe that's probably the integrations that you have done. So that will show up here. I don't have anything right now, but and then you can import people. You can create your own custom fields. And your email settings, site tracking is a tracking code that you install on your website, and form tracking is to track certain data for your form submission that you can trigger automation based on that. So on the profile, it would list the website or domain or account that you're in currently. And if you have created sub accounts by going into manage accounts, then you will have other sub accounts or domains listed here, and then you can switch between them. And your account is obvious, the account details, team members, you can add team members, and the plan and billing will give you your plan and billing information. So that's those are the pretty standard obvious things. And the one of the biggest things out of two or three things, I would say the top two or three things is flows, which some big names out there would call workflows or simply automations, and Encharge calls them flows. And on the left panel here, left bar, you can see all flows or you can, if you label them as favorites, or if the flows are active, so if you have turned them on basically, then they'll show up in active. So right now active, I don't have anything because I was playing around. I don't have anything on favorites, and all flows will show just the deactivated, and I didn't even name this flow. I was just playing around, and so it would show up under deactivated, as you can see. And then on the left bar you see folders. So I don't have any folders yet, but it's nice to have the folder options so you can organize your flows as you wish. So let's go back here and click on this flow that I was playing around, and I was just playing around here with let me just bring out the sidebar with this bottom here plus sign will bring it up, and if you click on negative, then or kind of expanding or not expanding, I guess. Um, and so this top, obviously the flow would start with some kind of trigger to trigger the flow and that automation. The trigger is, all the trigger options are listed on the top, and then you scroll down, you'll see actions, sending emails, applying tags, removing tags, all that kind of stuff, send webhook, those will be in your actions. And then filters are filters, conditions, uh, based on if someone is in specific segment, a yes or no, and based on that you would uh, do the next step, which would be action, or further, I guess you can even do other kinds of filtering, complicated filtering, and so on. So as you can see, one of the things I've already suggested to Encharge, that possibly have a search box here on the top. So if you start typing, let's say if I start typing S or ST for Stripe or something, and that module or the step option will show up, whether it's for triggering or action or whatever, many with that dynamically they would show up, and then you just quickly grab them and then bring them over. So just to show you, let's just say there was some email activity as a trigger, I could just bring over there as a trigger as well. So I was just playing around, and one of the things I noticed that you can freely take this. For example, I don't know if you can take, okay, let me just see if it's going to happen. No, you can't do that. I guess it's giving me some message here, but I could have some tag applied and I still want to send. Okay, so then it's saying yes or no here, so save it. So if someone is in this segment and I don't have any segment, well, let me just see here. Well, all people, so these are the default segments, and I'll go over that in a bit. So if you can select the segments, and then if that's true, then yes, and then it will go to this emails action, sending email action. And so there may be a case where you're applying a tag and you want to send this email, and then another automation or trigger is working in parallel, and then for that one also, that if they meet the segment condition, then you send the email. Anyway, this video is not about how to create flows or other tutorials or any strategies here. I was just mentioning a few things here, but it's fairly easy to build your flows. It can be very, very powerful. One of the actions, they have a workaround, I think, but not quite as like a goal. Like in the platform that I use, there is a step of goal. So if the tag is applied of let's say made a purchase or something, and then it will skip all other steps above that goal step, and it will just jump to that goal step and then go on from there saying, send a thank you email or whatever. So um, that feature I don't think is there, and they might be working on it. So that's just a brief intro on and how that flow looks in Encharge. The next up is people. So this view is for all the people in your account. And one of the nice feature I think is archived. So let's say that some people that are not engaged, or for some other reason that you don't want to unsubscribe them, you try to engage them, they're not engaged or whatever, and they haven't unsubscribed, and you don't want to delete them, you don't want to manually unsubscribe them, so you can just simply archive them. And one of the strategies I will quickly mention, that for those archive people that are not that engaged, maybe you might want to run a Facebook ad by creating a custom audience of those people, and also maybe make another lookalike custom audience for that list, or that group, or segment. So that's one thing comes to my mind right now. So now for your you have an option to import an existing users from a CSV or Excel file. And then there's a segment.com integration that depends on what kind of account you have within Chart, whether you have this option or not, and track users and events via the API. So there is an API option to track events. So those are the options here. This section also gives you one of the most powerful features of Encharge, which is segments and segmentation. And some of the obvious ones are subscribers and unsubscribed ones, so it's automatically uh, uh, those people will end up in those segments. And then these two here, engaged, that's a nice one, as a suggested by default that they give you uh, a segment, and the conditions are that if someone is engaged within the last in less than 7 days, then they are considered as engaged. Now you could have slightly different strategy, maybe it's 10 days, maybe more, and based on how many emails that you send to your subscribers or to people in various segments. So that way you can create that segment as well. So this kind of nice, and you can have very complicated conditions with and or type conditions here. I'm not sure if there is an or type condition here, but you can have multiple conditions. Now, she needs some love, so I was thinking, like, this is interesting. So it's a nice colored with red, because let's see, the condition is like more than. So the last activity that someone had more than 30 days, uh, uh, 30 days ago, so you need to awaken them. So they need kind of a bit of some love there. So it's kind of interesting, and you can certainly change your conditions and add different types of conditions to create this kind of segment. So that gives you some idea. So it's pretty powerful. You can create all kinds of segmentation, and it's dynamic. So once you create the segment, anybody in the future also, if they meet that condition or conditions, then they will automatically be under that segment that you have created. Whoever meets that criteria, I guess, for the segment. So it's pretty powerful that you can use in your flows for automation. And I haven't tried, again, almost anything in here as yet, but I'm familiar with the concept, and because of the other platform that I've used. So the broadcast is one-off email that you want to send to everybody in your account, or all people, or you can select a segment. Now, I'm not sure if you can create segments on the fly. You may have to create segments beforehand, that if you want to create a broadcast, if you're having a sale going on, and you want to send a broadcast, but you only want to send it to certain, maybe your VIP customers, some promo that you're doing. And so those people are part of some segment. And so you may have to create beforehand. And then when you create a broadcast, then you select that segment, and I believe there's an option to schedule a broadcast. There is feature request about resending. If someone doesn't open within 2 days, then the system would automatically resend it. Currently, I think you can do it using a flow, but if you just want to go straight, schedule it through broadcast, and you have a feature of um, just a resend feature. And if you can actually also change the subject line, for example, for the resend. So this that feature may come, but for now you could always create a flow to do that. So that's I think. And again, just like for people that well, not for people, for flows you have folders, for broadcasts you have folders, and I believe for email also you have folders. And again, for emails you have favorites, in use, unused, type of labels. And I believe that you can save emails, and then you can reuse the, reuse them. So let's click on this email I was playing around with a little bit, but let's just see. So you could actually click on, well, let's see, drag and bring it over here. You click on it, it brings these icons, and I could just click on Facebook, and you can have your Facebook URL for your page or for your profile, and you can add other uh, social media icons, and with their links in here. So you can build your email pretty easily, and you can look at the mobile view, desktop view is pretty neat. And on the top right here, you can also do a test. So you can send a test email to yourself or to another email that you may have that you use for testing. So you can do that as well. And over here, you see this the subject here. So subject is for whatever subject your email is, and but you also can name your email if you want to track it that way. For like, okay, welcome email, but you might want to say something else in your subject, but you're tracking within your account on the type of email, let's just say, like welcome email. So that way you can look at the metric. So, and you can also do a text. I'm not going over that, but you can also do, I'm going to cancel out, say okay. Nice that it checks with you. So when let's go to the last tab here. So for metric, it's really nice. I think is you have to, I'm not sure if you can actually have a broadcast metric. It would be nice, unless I missed it. But this one seems to be any emails that are part of your flow that you built, and if those emails are part of that. So if you right now have unnamed flow, which I didn't name, but as you have more flows, then you can either look at the metrics for all the flows, or you can select the flow. And then if you're naming your emails, like I was mentioning before, then you can select that those types of emails, like the name of the email will show up here, and then your time frame. And then you can look at those metrics as delivered, bounced, opens, clicks, replies, unsubscribed, spam reports. Kind of funny to me, but yeah, that happens. But so um, So that's a good one to know, obviously. So then email clicks, and it gives you some URL of the click and unique clicks or non-unique clicks. That's pretty good. And one of the things that caught my eyes was right over here. It says save as PDF. So I haven't tried it, obviously, here as my account is empty right now, but it seems to me this is going to be a really powerful feature. If the format of the PDF generated is pretty good, presentable, then it's going to be really a great feature. If, let's say, you have clients that you're working with, and you have sub accounts for your clients, then you can send them the email metric as a report, as a PDF report. So I think that's pretty cool. I think their Encharge is very powerful. They are I think they have a bright future if they keep developing and improving things and closing the gaps between Encharge and some of the big names out there. Then they're not going to be too far. They're close, but they're not too close as yet. But I certainly think that it's something that if you don't have these kinds of powerful features in your email platform right now, then I would recommend this unless you want to go with big guys. But this seems to be a pretty strong contender to me. So you might want to check it out. Okay, hope that it was of some help. Talk to you guys later.